Hi everyone, I'm David Scranton and thank you for watching this video because today we're talking about a retirement strategy that can help you achieve your goals and frankly to do that regardless of market conditions. And it's called the income formula, and we'll talk about how and why it works. And to help me today on this also important topic is today's guest, James Locke. He's the co-owner of Pool Locke Associates located in Wilmington, Delaware. James has more than 20 years experience in the financial industry. James, always my pleasure to have you here on the show.
Hey, Dave. Thanks for having me. Glad to be here today.
So when you talk about investing for income, what are some of the most common misconceptions or misunderstandings that people might have about this topic?
The number one misconception or misunderstanding is risk. People always believe if I want more income in retirement or any time, if I want more income, I need to take more risk. And as it turns out, it's just not the case. In fact, normally income investing is inherently safer. So if you want more income, you can actually take less risk, which makes retirees more comfortable knowing that that income will be there for them year in and year out. So understanding that income doesn't necessarily mean more risk is the number one hurdle.
Now you find that sometimes that makes people a little skeptical about investing for income because they come to the table thinking it's going to require them to increase risk.
Yeah. Sometimes we have to kind of unwind years of head down saving, and I don't care where my return comes from. I just want return. So they don't understand that, hey, there's two pieces. And you talked about it already in that equation, that total return equals interest and dividends plus growth, TR equals I plus G. So we isolate that I portion, the income portion, to help them explain, hey, if you know your return or a good portion of your return is coming from income, then it's going to be there for you consistently. That's the only piece we really know.
Now that's what I find to be one of the misunderstandings, and maybe you can relate to this, is people might say, oh, I'm getting plenty of income because their advisor is sending them checks on an automatic basis, but they have no idea whether it's truly coming from income like interest and dividends or whether their advisor is selling principal every year to send them a check.
Yeah, that's what you're talking about is engineering income. They're
Yes.
just assuming that they're getting money from their account. And what's happening is that advisor is selling shares of mutual funds, usually something along those lines, to generate that. And if the stock market and growth doesn't coincide with that model, well, now you're going to be using principal for your retirement.
That's right. That's right. And, you know, it would seem to me like today more than ever, people are nervous about that. So tell me, you're in Delaware. Are people nervous about what they see going on in the economy right now in the financial markets? Or because they're from Delaware, do they have such blind faith in the president that they just think everything's going to be okay?
Well, they do. People do love the president here in Delaware, and he's always right around the corner causing traffic jams. But you know what? People they should be nervous about what's going on. I mean, we have war in Europe for the first time in 80 years. Inflation is very high and interest rates are going up. All these concerns about, hey, am I going to be okay in the future? And that's when we go right back to that first topic you talked about, which was not understanding how income works. Because even with those problems, if you focus on income, that's how you overcome those hurdles and get rid of that volatility so that your income is consistent.
So in many ways, investing for income could be the solution to a lot of their worries about the economy and the financial markets. But you're saying people don't innately realize that.
Yeah, if you want your retirement to be stress-free, you take from the I and not from the G. If you take from interest and dividends that you know is going to be there year in and year out, then you don't have to, we're always concerned. We always want things to be nice and easy and markets to move up consistently. But history has shown us that's not what happens. So let's figure out how to navigate this minefield of problems in such a way that your income is the number one priority, right? And then we can worry about, hey, how do we grow the pot or things of that nature? But if you take care of the most important piece, your income first, you're reducing your risk and you're making your future more secure.
Yeah, good point. Tell me, because everything going on right now, what's going on timely today, tell me what you find that is going on in the news that concerns people most about their finances, but also tell me what you think they should be the most concerned about when they listen to the news today.
You know, the biggest fear is always, you know, am I going to run out of money? Is Social Security going to be there? Those kinds of baseline walk in the door.
But I mean, James, of newsworthy topics, what are they most concerned about today that they hear in the news? And
it's always right now it's inflation. You know, inflation is the number one concern because your money is losing value. And then you go back to that same issue. Well, I need to overcome inflation, which means I need to take more risk. And again, just not the case. You know, you can overcome that inflation hurdle in more than one way. And that's where understanding how when you have income today, maybe you don't need it today, you need it in the future. Well, if you're investing for income today, it means you're going to have more income in the future. Mm-hmm. It's just math. It's not, it's not some sort of crystal ball. So people are concerned mostly when they come in our office about that inflation number. And that really ties back to the Fed. And are they going to be able to, keep interest rates under control so that we can keep inflation under control and we don't tank the economy?
So should inflation be the biggest concern, or should it be the Fed creating a recession? Because, sometimes the cure can be worse than the sickness itself. And this might be one of those times.
Yeah, it's really the Fed. That's the bigger issue. The Fed has, created more recessions or created and stopped just as many recessions by them fooling around with interest rates. They have to do this very carefully. They have to move in slow, small increments. You do anything too fast, you're going to spook the market. And you do anything too fast, like you said, you might kill the patient, right? That's not what we're trying to do.
Yeah, the arsonist and the fireman, like I always say. Final thoughts for our income generation members. Best words of wisdom from you.
Work with a fiduciary and work with an income specialist, because you need to make sure your assets are aligned with your phase in life. And if you're in retirement and you're drawing money from your assets, do it the right way. Make sure you're with a specialist who knows how to invest for income so that you can be sure that your money will last longer than you and your income will be there for you in a renewable resource year in and year out.
Yeah, and I will say specialists who specialize in retirement income is not your typical retirement planner. Most people who are so-called retirement planners get you up to retirement, but they don't know how to make that transition to that next phase of life, as you just said so eloquently, from the accumulation stage to the income stage. But James, you do that every day of your life. And thanks so much for being here with us, James Locke, on the income generation.
Thanks, David.
Thank you for watching today's video, The Income Formula, How and Why It Works. If you enjoyed this video, click the thumbs up button to give us a like, and make sure that you subscribe to our YouTube channel for new content each and every week.